Hi, this is Hitman SOS, and this is my collection of Ultimate Warrior action figures. I'm going to start with my Mattel figures and work my way through the Jakks and the Hasbros and all that stuff. Okay, so the first Ultimate Warrior I'm going to show you is this was I think a Target exclusive. It's a fairly recent Ultimate Warrior. I'm not sure like what match or anything it's from. It could be Ultimate Warrior Rick Rude. I'm not sure. It comes with this nice blue strap winged eagle belt. Awesome belt. Awesome version of the Ultimate Warrior. I like this one. He has like the shorter hair. It's an elite figure. It has the elite articulation and everything. Love the attire on this one. Kind of sucks it was exclusive, because there's going to be a lot of people out there who aren't going to have a chance to get it. But really fucking awesome figure. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Okay, here we have WWE Legends Ultimate Warrior. I can't remember what series 4 maybe, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. It's got the elite articulation again. Comes with the classic Intercontinental belt. He has the Ultimate Warrior versus Honky Tonk Man attire from SummerSlam 88, I think it was. Where he whipped like Honky Tonk Man's ass in like 30 seconds or something, and then became Intercontinental Champion for the first time. So this is an awesome one. It's a significant moment in Ultimate Warrior's history and all that kind of crap. Okay, here we have a basic Ultimate Warrior. This is another like fairly recent one, at the time of making this video anyway. If you're watching the video like 5 years from now, then this figure is fucking ancient. But this actually came in a 2-pack, one of those Mattel battle packs that they do. He come with some modern fucking jobber asshole, somebody I didn't give a crap about anyway. Awesome version of the Ultimate Warrior. He's got like the USA gear, the USA flag in the shape of the Ultimate Warrior symbol. Comes with the USA flag accessory. Can't remember what like match or anything this is from, but I think this might have been like from like when he was having like a feud with like Sergeant Slaughter, or around about that time, So it might even be like Ultimate Warrior versus Sergeant Slaughter, something like that. But an awesome version of Ultimate Warrior. I always hoped that they would do one in this attire. Jakks did actually do an Ultimate Warrior in this attire, but it was one of those really ridiculously fucking rare, like one of 50 or one of fucking 5 figures or something like that. So obviously, I never got it. It would have cost a fortune. But awesome fucking figure. Okay, here we have another basic Ultimate Warrior. Again, this one came in a 2-pack with some a modern jobber who I couldn't care fucking less about. I don't give a crap who it even was. But this is kind of like an earlier version of the Ultimate Warrior from when his attire was a little bit more plain. He had like the plain trunks with the symbol on the back. This would have been like like I say, an early warrior from I don't know, like 88, 89, something like that. I honestly don't recognize this attire or know what match it's from or anything like that, so maybe somebody out there could tell me what match this is from. So he's got like the different color tassels on each arm, black and yellow and orange and white on that side. So any version of the Ultimate Warrior always looks fucking awesome, because the Ultimate Warrior is the most awesome superstar in the history of wrestling. So yeah, fucking awesome. There you go. I got the asshole to stand up. Yeah. Okay, this is Ultimate Warrior from the Elite series. Not sure what series, but it was from the Elite line. This is one of my least favorite Ultimate Warriors, because it's not really an iconic look for the Ultimate Warrior. This isn't how most people remember him. And personally, I wasn't watching wrestling at this time when the Ultimate Warrior looked like this. So, you know, I mean, I think it's awesome that they actually like done the Ultimate Warrior in this attire, just so that I have like a different Ultimate Warrior in my collection, you know what I mean? But, yeah, like I say, this isn't like classic Ultimate Warrior. This isn't like how we all prefer to remember him. You know, this was kind of like, I think he got like fired for doing drugs or steroids or some shit like that. And he come back like a lot, you know, a bit skinnier than what he was before. He wasn't like so beefy and, you know, bulked up. And so he had these kind of like singlets with like muscles kind of painted on. But still, you know, a really cool figure. There's nothing wrong with the actual figure. It's just you know, a particular time that I just wasn't really interested in wrestling at this time. And like I say, this isn't a classic look for the Ultimate Warrior, not really how we remember him, but you know, still a nice, cool figure. Okay, this is probably Ultimate Warrior at the highest point in his career. This was him at WrestleMania 6. This is when he defeated Hulk Hogan and became the Intercontinental Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion, and he was the first superstar in history to have both belts. He entered the ring as Intercontinental Champion. He had a yellow strap Intercontinental belt, and he won a black strap World Heavyweight Championship belt from Hulk Hogan. So kind of sucks that they got the color of the belt wrong. It should be black. You know, it should be like a yellow Intercontinental belt as opposed to, you know, the yellow World Heavyweight Championship belt. But yeah, what the hell, I mean, it's still cool. It was kind of inevitable that Mattel were gonna do this one. You know, Jakks had already done 2 Hogan versus Warrior you know, figures. So yeah, this is a fucking awesome one. You know, I guess like I say, this is a Warrior at the kind of highest point in his career. So even if you only have one Ultimate Warrior, I guess this would be a good one to have, you know what I mean? Okay, here we have another basic Ultimate Warrior figure. This I think this is WrestleMania 5 maybe, or you know, it might not have been WrestleMania, I can't remember, but it was I think it was a pay-per-view. It was Ultimate Warrior and Hercules, and I'm pretty sure this is Ultimate Warrior versus Hercules attire. So you know, again, a kind of an early Ultimate Warrior when he had like the more plain kind of attire. You know, he doesn't like have the tassel things around his boots. You know, he's got like the tassels on his knee pads, but yeah, very you know, nice figure. You know, like I say, a kind of a plain kind of Ultimate Warrior, an early Ultimate Warrior. So you know, kind of nice. Not as good as some of the others, I guess. Okay, so this is another basic Ultimate Warrior. This I really love the colors on this one. You know, this is like a really nice, bright kind of you know, kind of neon colors. This is kind of similar to like the Hasbro colors of the first Hasbro figure that they'd done. And I always like the colors of the first Hasbro figure. So I'm not sure what match or anything it's from. I do remember seeing the Ultimate Warrior wrestle Andre with similar attire to this, so maybe this is Ultimate Warrior versus Andre, you know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I love the colors of this one. Very nice, nice looking, nice colorful Ultimate Warrior. Okay, this is the Defining Moments Ultimate Warrior. This is a really awesome one. This is very nicely detailed. You know, the defining moments are kind of like the I guess the top end of the Mattel figures. You know what I mean? You know, you got like the his jacket thing, whatever it is, with the pictures of the Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage on the back. This was from I can't remember if it was from pay-per-view. It might have been WrestleMania 7 or I don't know. I can't fucking remember. It might not have even been WrestleMania, but it was Ultimate Warrior versus Randy Savage, and basically the loser had to retire, basically, and everybody knew that the Ultimate Warrior wasn't gonna fucking lose. I mean, you know, so obviously Randy Savage lost the match, and you know, he was forced to retire. So I do remember the Ultimate Warrior having like some like tassely things on his shoulder as well when he ended the match. So it would have been nice if they included that as well, just to make the figure perfect. You know, but yeah, still, it's like really nice, fucking nice detail. You know, check out his ass. Look at the detail on his ass. And I've heard that Mattel are actually going to be doing a new Defining Moments Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that there is going to be another Defining Moments Ultimate Warrior coming, you know, sometime soon, I guess. Okay, so that was the last of my Mattel Ultimate Warriors. Here we go with the Jakks. This is Classic Superstars Ultimate Warrior. This is from WrestleMania 12. Where he had a match against Triple H, and he kind of like no-sold Triple H's finish move, you know, the pedigree. He kind of, the Ultimate Warrior just kind of like jumped straight up after he was given the pedigree. And I remember Triple H like saying that it was like a bad experience for him and all that, because the Ultimate Warrior basically made him look like pathetic. But you know, I mean, we all wanted to see Ultimate Warrior kick ass, and we all expected the Ultimate Warrior to kick ass, so you can't really blame the Ultimate Warrior for you know, being the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, the Ultimate Warrior is not human. He's like a fucking superhero, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is a cool figure. I like this one. It comes with the Winged Eagle belt. You know, this is like a non-painted version of the belt, you know, because you had to buy the deluxe figures for the painted belts. Still, you know, cool Ultimate Warrior. You know, WrestleMania 12, the only WrestleMania 12 Ultimate Warrior they've done. Okay, again, this is another Classic Superstars version of the Ultimate Warrior. This is kind of like a later Ultimate Warrior, just like I said earlier with the Mattel Ultimate Warrior. This is like this is from like when I wasn't really watching wrestling anymore. You know, this is not really like a classic Ultimate Warrior how we remember him, with this kind of singlet thing on. You know, very nice detail. You know, it's like shows the Ultimate Warrior like half man, half robot type thing. You know. So, I like the face on this one as well. I mean, this is the only Jakks Ultimate Warrior that had this head. So when this figure first came out, I actually thought that they were going to be doing some more Ultimate Warriors and reusing the same head, but it was the only figure that actually had this head with the kind of like the puffy cheeks, you know, which is, you know, obviously you always see Ultimate Warrior with this expression, like when he enters the ring and shit, and he's shaking the ropes and all that stuff. And, you know, he comes with the Intercontinental Championship belt as well, which I just took off so that you could see the detail a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, like I say, cool to have a different like Ultimate Warrior, you know, in this kind of attire, but not really how I prefer to remember him, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is Jakks Classic Superstars version of the Ultimate Warrior versus the Honky Tonk Man, just like the Mattel figure that I showed you earlier. From when he whooped Honky Tonk Man's ass in like 30 seconds, become the Intercontinental Champion for the first time. SummerSlam 88, I think it was. Kind of a plain Ultimate Warrior, you know. Let's do a fucking comparison. So, Okay, here we got the Jakks and the Mattel standing right next to each other. So as you can see, the attire is virtually the same. There is more color in the Mattel version. The Mattel's got the colorful tassels there, whereas Jackson just got the plain white ones. I did notice in the match he does have kind of colorful tassels, but not as colorful as this. So from a distance they do kind of look white, so both versions are actually kind of accurate, you know what I mean? You know, so the Jakks one's got more kind of like light brown hair, whereas the Mattel is dark brown, so not really sure which one's more accurate, but yeah. But you know, two different versions of the same Ultimate Warrior, so that's cool. Okay, so this is the green Ultimate Warrior from Classic Superstars Series 3. Some people say that this is like their favorite Jakks Ultimate Warrior, but personally, this has always been like one of my least favorites. I don't know why. Just I don't really recognize the attire. I don't know what match it's from or anything. Don't really like the belt. You know, it's a yellow strap Intercontinental belt, but I've never really liked the look of this particular Intercontinental belt, and I don't even know if the Ultimate Warrior was around when this belt was around. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not even sure what match this is from. I think somebody did leave a comment on a previous video that I made and said that this was Warrior versus Andre, so I don't know, who knows? You know, I don't know, so yeah, Warrior versus Andre maybe. Okay, this is a cool version of the Ultimate Warrior, because this is the only version of the Warrior I have where he has like just the face paint like on his cheek, which he did have like a couple of times, you know, not all that often. The attire is actually similar to the very first Mattel figure that I showed you at the start of the video. You know, he even comes with the blue winged eagle belt, just like the Mattel figure. When I first saw this figure in the store, in a local store, I kind of thought, I don't want that one. I want one with the fucking full face paint, you know what I mean? But then after I collected all the Ultimate Warriors at the time, I was kind of pissed off that I didn't get this one. So, you know, I had to like buy this one off eBay, I think, you know, a couple of years after I first saw it. But I've always liked this version. You know, like I say, it's the only Ultimate Warrior that there's ever been, as far as I know, where he's got like the face paint on the cheek, so that's kind of cool. You know, and I love the blue strap belt and everything. Okay, Series 1, Jakks Classic Superstars Ultimate Warrior. This is another version of WrestleMania 6, Hogan vs. Warrior. This one, he actually come with like a crappy version of the winged eagle belt, or it might even be like an Attitude Era belt, which I don't know, it's just kind of ridiculous. I didn't like the belt, so I changed it for this Intercontinental belt. You know, got the face paint symbol on his chest there. Yeah, I mean, nothing particularly special about this figure. You know, I guess the Mattel version, you know, is a lot more kind of colorful and a little bit more detailed. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, this is Ultimate Warrior at the kind of highest point in his career, so, yeah, very nice figure. Okay, here we have another Jakks Classic Superstars, you know, WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior from when he defeated Hulk Hogan. You know, I always really like this one. I love the way he comes with, you know, he's got the yellow strap Intercontinental belt. He's got the winged eagle belt that he won from Hogan. You know, he's kind of like got his like face paint rubbed off and shit, which is I think is awesome. It's like a battle damaged Ultimate Warrior. You know, it's always like very unusual to get like battle damaged wrestling figures. You know, so yeah, it was an awesome 2-pack with Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. So yeah, this one's got orange boots. He was wearing green boots in that match. So you know, I don't know why they give him orange boots, but yeah, it's no big deal. This one's a little bit like brighter looking as well than the single version. you know. So that's the last of all my Mattel and Jakks figures. And now for the Hasbro. So this is the first Hasbro Ultimate Warrior that they've done. You know, with the green, pink, and the white. You know, as you all probably know, the Hasbro figures, they all had these actions. You know, this is like a springy jump thing. You know, you just make him jump on the other, you know, wrestlers, whatever. So, I mean, even when I was a kid, I actually thought these were like quite crappy figures because they had virtually no articulation or nothing. But obviously, as I started to get into wrestling, I mean, I become like a big collector as a kid of these figures. You know, I'd buy them every week with my pocket money and shit. So I've actually got a complete set of WWF Hasbro figures as well, all the way from Series 1 to Series 11. So you know, I do actually have a video on my channel of you know, a complete set of Hasbro. So you know, check that out if you're interested. Okay, this is the second Hasbro Ultimate Warrior that they've done. He has the Gorilla Press Slam move. He doesn't actually come with a belt. The belt comes with the ring, but I have like a few of these belts. I just thought I'd put one on the Ultimate Warrior, and I actually have like a couple more here, which is in the same bag as the Ultimate Warrior. This figure, he looks after my Hasbro belts. Not sure like what match or anything this is supposed to be from. You know, he's got the white, green, and orange. I actually spent quite a long time looking on eBay for one of these figures that doesn't have paint missing from his fucking nose. For some reason, it's real common for this particular figure to have a brown nose because the paint, for some reason, always rubs off his fucking nose. So if you have this figure from since when you was a kid, there's a good chance yours has a brown fucking nose. Okay, and this is the third and final Ultimate Warrior from the Hasbro series. He has this move where you push down on his head, and he kind of goes crazy, you know. So with the purple, yellow, and white attire. Again, don't know what match this is from or anything like that. You know, sometimes I think that Hasbro might have just like made up their own fucking versions. I'm not really sure. But this was probably my favorite Ultimate Warrior, like when I was a kid, just because the move was kind of unique. You know, he was the first figure that actually done this move at the time when it was first released. So that's the last of my Hasbro Ultimate Warriors, but I'm not finished yet. There's still some more to come. Okay, so this is WWE Rumblers Ultimate Warrior, which is basically a line of figures that I couldn't care less about. I don't give a crap about the Rumblers, but they done Ultimate Warrior, so that was awesome. I had to get him, you know, especially when they were on sale in my local Toys R Us here in England. They were like $2.99 a pack, reduced from like $5.99 or something like that. So he came with this modern fucking Jabba piece of shit that I don't care about. But you know, it's you know, he's got green trunks. There's not a lot of detail there, you know. Would have been nice if he could have some tassels around his arms and the, you know, the little warrior symbol on his ass and stuff like that. But you know, whatever. It's still a nice, you know, nice to have a little fucking unique Ultimate Warrior. So, you know, I had to have this one, especially when I found it on sale. Okay, here we have a Burger King Ultimate Warrior toy. So this is from Burger King Kids Club meal. This is actually, I think it's supposed to be an ink stamp. I bought this off eBay not that long ago, like, you know, probably a year or two ago, I don't know. But yeah, quite nice. Again, he's got the green, pink, and white attire, just like the little Rumbler figure that I showed you, and just like the Hasbro figure. First Hasbro figure. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to be leaving this one in the bag and keeping it nice and new, you know what I mean. So yeah, quite happy to have that. Okay, here we have an Ultimate Warrior water pumper. So I don't remember these from when I was a kid. You know, this is another thing that I just kind of got like recently off eBay. You know, over the last few years or so. Still in the box. You know, there's like, looks like you can get Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior. You know, it's quite a big figure. It must be like 8 inches tall or something. But again, you know, I'm always interested in Ultimate Warrior merchandise, so another thing that I just kind of had to have for my collection. And I believe there's just one more figure to show you. Okay, the battery on my camera is fucking flashing red, so I'm going to have to be quick. This is the last Ultimate Warrior I have to show you. This is an old Jakks WWF Superstars Ultimate Warrior from 1996. This was, I think, the last Ultimate Warrior figure that there was while Ultimate Warrior was still actually active, you know what I mean? So it has like bone crunching sound. I think this is WrestleMania 12 again. So here's the figures on the back. So you got like, yeah, I'm not going to read them all out to you because like I say, the fucking battery's now about to run out on my camera. So, yeah, and that's my complete collection of Ultimate Warrior figures. I hope you enjoyed watching, and please subscribe to see more videos. I'm going to be making more videos like this of other characters that I have, like Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Undertaker, as well as others. So hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, thank you for watching.